to let them go so you can let them be them and you be you.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Here's the other thing the Lord is saying to me to tell you. Stop using them as an excuse not to deal with yourself.
Yes, sir.
Say that.
It's easy to hide because here's the thing. They have a problem. We hide behind their problem under the auspice of I'm helping them when really I'm running from me. Whew. Let me put this on the table. How many times do you bring up that problem in conversation? If you bring that problem up in conversation more than you bring up God, that problem is your God. If every time I talk, I bring up the problem, I'm now the servant of the problem. That's my God. Are you still there?
Yes.
And so now we're going to let God be God. We're going to release the problem. That doesn't mean I abandon you. What that means is I can't be God for you. Verse 19, hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people, look what he says. Be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the cause unto God. Now, here's the instruction for us. Teach them how they get to God.
Yes.
Instead of being the middleman, get out of the way and tell them, this is who I talk to. Maybe you should talk to them too.
That's right. That's right. Come on, man. That's right.
A great deal of our weight is because we spend our life being the middleman when they can go directly to the source too, which means now I've got to be a discipler of people, which means I've got to now shift out of religion and start being a discipler of Christ. So again, when we pack up and we get in our car and we go down the hill, we're going to start pointing people to the source, and we're going to stop pointing them to the resource.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
You're burning yourself out because you think you're the source, and you're the resource. Say that with me. I'm not the source.
I'm not the source.
I'm the resource.
I'm the resource.
Verse 20, and thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws. Ooh, I hear the Lord speak. Thou shalt teach them ordinance. Watch it. Thou shalt not coddle them. Thou shalt not console them anymore. Thou shalt not rub their back and tell them it's going to be okay anymore. No, what God is saying is you're going to start teaching them the ordinances of God. Because it's not by power nor by might, but it's by the Spirit of God that they're going to get their transformation. And you talking to them hasn't transformed them thus far. So let me get some God in your life. Moreover, thou shalt provide unto all the people, you're going to teach them the laws, and thou shalt show them the way wherein they must walk and the work they must do. It's time for you, yes, Lord, it's time for you now to start discipling your problems and discipling the issues that come your way. You come to me, you sure you want to come to me? Because if you come to me, I'm going to point you to Christ. Amen. Listen, if you ever want to get rid of people, point them to Christ. You'll find out people aren't as 5150 as you think they are when you start saying, meet me at prayer at 5 a.m. If you ever want to get rid of somebody, tell them, meet me at prayer for a week at 5 a.m. They'll either call you for prayer and they'll change, or they'll be so convicted they won't call you again. Moreover, verse 21, thou shalt provide out of all the people able, listen, I want you to lean in here. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them. Look what God says. He says, now, when all these people start coming to you, I want you to now send them to people who can really help them. If they need a therapist, send them to the therapist. Stop trying to be the therapist. If they need a weight trainer, send them to a trainer. Stop trying to be their trainer. But whoever it is that they need, stop being everything for everybody. because you're burning yourself out. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So they're saying, if it's a big deal, deal with it. But if it's some little stuff, I'm not dealing with this. Listen, would you look at somebody and just tell them, I'm no longer doing the little things.
I'm no longer doing the little things.
You got a bill that's due, don't call me anymore. I got a bill that's due too.
Amen.
And because what happens is when you bring your little thing and I take it on, now my little thing becomes a big thing because I got yours and mine. And so from this point on, I'm not doing the little things. Now, if your mother dies, I'll pray with you. But if you got a bill that's due, that's your problem. Amen? Amen? Now, this final thing, I want to ask you a question. Do me a favor. Gary, I need a huge favor. There is a broom right in here in the left-hand corner. Just bring that to me. I want to ask you a question. What does the word balance mean to you? Steve, thank you. Give me 5 more minutes. Thank you, man. What does the word balance mean to you? When you hear the word balance, what does that mean?
Equal on all sides.
Equal on all sides.
That's a good definition.
That thing is heavy. Equal, thank you, sir, on all sides. Somebody else, what does balance mean?
Leveled.
Leveled. Somebody else, what does balance mean? Who said that? Even. Perfect middle. You can tell when people go to PFBC because they're really smart. Equal on all sides, level, even all across the board. Just brilliant. How do we get to balance?
Giving everybody their problem back.
Giving everybody their problem back.
Amen.
How else do we get to balance?
Leaning on God.
Leaning on God. How else do we get to balance?
Moving back from the extreme.
Moving back
from the extreme.
extreme.
So you go like for me personally, I went from one extreme to the other.
Mm.
I recognized one was the extreme and the other one was the extreme. And I began to move back until I felt middle.
And let the extremes be the extreme. That's the other thing. We're not gonna. You're not the extreme. You're not gonna be my identity this year. I've let the extreme identify me, but we're not doing that. Let me show you balance. So if I were to balance this broom, right? I'm balancing the broom. How am I balancing the broom? I'm adjusting
Do it.
to whatever comes my way.
That's impressive.
Balance is not being still and letting everything stand still.
Yes, sir.
Balance is the capacity to say whatever hits my life,
That's right.
I can adjust
right.
so that I don't lose what I'm holding on to.
Hey.
See, you thought you didn't have balance because things were still coming your way. But what I want you to hear and understand is you had balance the whole time because you're still alive. You still have it in your hand and you never dropped it.
That's right.
See, as long as I don't drop it, I am administering balance. But the moment I drop it, I lose my balance. So when things come your way, your only responsibility is to adjust so that I don't lose what God has given me to hold on to.
That's right. Yes.
Somebody shout, I just got to adjust.
I just got to adjust.
Things are going to come your way. As long as you are alive, things will come your way.
Yes.
Your only responsibility is not to be God. It's not to be that strong. In fact, let me tell you this. The Bible says that when I am weak, the Bible says, then am I strong, which means my greatest strength comes at my greatest weakness. My strength does not kick in until I'm weak. How do I know that? Because God says that not by power nor by might, but by my spirit. So He is my strength.
Yes,
So the balance is not about me always getting it right. The balance is not about me always making the right decisions. But the balance is that no matter what comes my way, I must stay under what God has given me to do.
Amen.
Here's the other thing about balance, T. I'm going to look crazy to some people. But you don't know what God has given me to do. You don't know what I'm about to drop if I focus on you. So let me take my eyes off you and focus on what he's given me to do. Because if I focus on you, I'm going to drop what he gave me because I lost my balance.
All right.
Somebody shout balance.
Balance.
Somebody shout, you are not my problem.
You are not my problem.
Oh, I need you to receive that. Yeah, I need you to receive it. Somebody shout, you are no longer my problem.
You are no longer my problem.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
God, you've given me some things to do. And I cannot leave this earth doing everybody else's problem and vision and idea and drop what you gave me to do.
Yes, sir.
So let me take my eyes off of everybody else and focus on what he's given me to balance. I'm not dropping my broom for nobody. In 2020, I'm holding my broom. I'm going to tune my broom. Somebody shout, tune your broom, tune your broom, tune your broom, tune your broom, tune your broom. In 2020, I'm going to tune my own broom. Steve, I'm not worried about you. Dave, I'm not worried about you. T, I can't worry about you. I got to tune my own broom. Somebody shout, tune your broom, tune your broom. If we don't do anything else, leaving 2019 and stepping into 2020, I've made up my mind when I get down that hill, I'm going to tune my broom. Everybody standing. Everybody standing. Everybody standing.
Word. Word.
Just grab somebody's hand if you would. Hallelujah.